Yeah, I'm sorry to the Invincible fans, but there's no way. There's no way they're being Superman. Now, I will say if Superman doesn't take it seriously, his kindness the Viltrumites can use that to their advantage and kill him before he gets serious. It's a chance because this video says Superman kills every Viltrumite, and then it says easily. Hold on, easily. And shout out to Ashura Hero. I'll put the original video description below. But they said easily. I would say it's only easily if Superman takes it seriously. Because there are moments, and we've seen it like in the comics, TV shows, where Superman is losing to someone he should not be losing to. And it's only because he was being extra nice. But let's just say Superman goes all in, as the Viltrumites goes all in. Even with Thrag, let's say Thrag, Invincible, and Omni-Man teaming up against him. Nah, sorry. And I'm not even like a Superman fanboy. I'll take that back. I'm a fan of Superman, just not. I'm not an extremist like I am with Batman. And I still, yeah, no. Thrag is pretty powerful. Omni-Man obviously, Invincible gets powerful in time. Yeah, I will say this is a battle Superman has to, like I said, has to take seriously and keep his eye open. Don't slack up until it's over. You know, but let's see. I'm curious what they're gonna say. Why is it easily? Because I wouldn't say easily. I think Superman will take some bruise. That's a lot of people he's fighting against. Now, one-on-one, sure, but the whole Viltrumite army, yeah, and they could take some damage. I'm talking about the Viltrumite, so I don't think it'll be easily, but I still think Superman will win. I could be wrong.
Demolishes Superman.
Yeah.
And fans hate it.
Wait, what? Let me put this up here.
Yeah, I've already drawn that. Invincible demolishes Superman.
Yeah.
And fans hate it.
Yeah.
And I post drawings of that. Yeah, I've drawn a few of them.
Oh, because it's unrealistic. That's why.
Destroy Superman with Invincible.
Well, I think that Superman might be able to defeat Invincible just with the sheer boredom that character causes.
God, right? This is true.
I'm just trying to cause controversy.
Well, everyone is debating on whether or not Omni-Man beats Homelander, which I feel like is pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, Omni-Man could beat Homelander easily.
Getting a little attention lately.
Homelander's only strong in his universe, but I don't think he is nowhere close to Omni-Man or Superman's strength.
Omni-Man beats Homelander, which I feel like is pretty obvious at this point who wins. One topic has been getting a little attention lately. Invincible versus Superman. As I just showed you in the interview in the beginning of the video, the creator of Invincible claimed his character would easily beat Superman, and because of this, a lot of people have said, well, if the author says it, it must be true.
Blasphemy.
And that specific argument we'll get to in a bit, but I want to make this video not just to say that Invincible would lose to Superman. I want to show that the gap in power is so insane that not only does Superman beat Mark, but would single-handedly erase the entire Viltrumite empire. Now, there's many versions of
I just think the speed of Superman, if Superman went all in on his speed with his strength, mixed together, yeah.
And I'm sure everyone has their own scaling and arguments as to why each individual version of Superman is this strong or whatever, but let's just go with the most recognized version of Superman, post-Crisis, which is after Crisis on Infinite Earths, but before the New 52 and all the convergent shenanigans. So let's start off this video by talking about how strong the Viltrumite Empire truly is. The Empire of Planet Viltrum has been terrorizing the known universe for centuries, constantly murdering, enslaving, and just so this video doesn't get taken down, let's just say forcefully breeding with the species that they victimize. Obviously, these guys are absolutely ruthless in nature.
Yeah, they are.
Their mentalities are horrifying. They won't stop until death. But what amplifies that wicked nature is their innate physical capabilities. Viltrumites are overall probably the strongest species in the universe, only really challenged by the Ragnars. Emperor Thrag says that with just 37 Viltrumites working together, they could split the Earth in half. In this clip, we learn that Viltrumite cells are virtually indestructible by disease or even nanotechnology.
Any progress? Jesus, that bad?
We've tried everything. Drugs, viruses, bacteria, prions, even nanobots and radioactives. Viltrumite cells don't give a damn. They just won't die.
We'll keep trying.
This combined with the fact that they live for thousands of years, like seriously, I would hate to live on a planet that's on the hit list for these guys. However, something that is important to note, despite Viltrumite's insane durability and regenerative capabilities, it seems that if their hearts get damaged too much, they won't be able to properly recover from fatal wounds. Some of their more powerful members like Omni-Man can destroy entire civilizations just with the force of his flying alone. Using Nolan as a starting point, when he's holding back on his son, he can reduce entire mountains to rubble. He's durable enough to walk off giant nukes from space, and in the Season 2 trailer, we see him withstanding the force of a black hole. Like he's just casually standing right in front of it. Omni-Man is also capable of fighting another Image Comics character, Mean Supreme. Mean Supreme is also stated to be the strongest and most deadliest Supreme out of them all.
I don't know who that is.
Specific comic event. And to give context to what the other Supremes can do, they're able to fly at light speed and destroy planets and even stars. Another interesting thing I want to bring up is how Omni-Man's flight works. It's said that Omni-Man ignores the laws of gravity and inertia and multiplies their velocities well beyond the velocity of light while flying. Not to mention, Nolan himself has lived over 2,000 years, dedicating his entire existence to fighting and conquering planets. So using Omni-Man's stats and skills as a basis, we can just scale the more powerful and skilled Viltrumites like Thrag, Conquest, and even Mark towards the ends of the series to Omni-Man and say that they are all comparable in strength and speed. So we know that at the peak of Viltrumite civilization, there are Viltrumites that are powerful enough to destroy planets and some stars, as well as being able to move well beyond the speed of light. And obviously there are more Viltrumite characters out there. I'm not covering them for the sake of time, but honestly you can just throw in whoever you want and scale them to these guys if you'd like. One interesting thing I've always questioned about the Viltrumite Empire is that they're always said to be this super advanced species that are light years ahead of any other civilization in terms of weapons and medicine, but we never really get to see that on full display. We know that they have bases and stuff, and apparently they're more advanced than Earth, so they have stuff better than Cecil apparently, which is pretty cool in theory, but we never really see that expanded on, which is disappointing because I'd like to see how that would play out in a war like this. Anyways, now that we've got the general scaling for the Viltrumites out the way, let's talk about Superman. I hear a lot of people complain about Superman being boring and too powerful, and each person is entitled to their own opinion, but in my own humble opinion, this is what makes Superman truly an interesting character. Superman's greatest challenge isn't really Lex Luthor inventing another death ray or Parasite destroying buildings in Metropolis. It is the constant inner struggle within himself to grapple with his own godhood and constantly strive to maintain justice and stand for what's right. And this aspect in Superman is illustrated in the fact that 99.9% of the time, Superman is always holding back. But today, I'm about to show you a fraction of just how powerful the Man of Steel really is. Superman is able to fight beings like Darkseid in his avatar form, who is able to survive Apocalypse and New Genesis crashing into each other. For reference, New Genesis and Apocalypse have been consistently said to equal and even dwarf entire galaxies in size.
Dang, I didn't know that.
While Darkseid has definitely mollywopped Superman before, Superman has almost just as many times beat down Darkseid and been able to hurt him. And while we are using post-crisis
What game is this with Superman? I've never seen this before. I'm hearing what he's saying, but I'm getting distracted with this game he's playing. I'm like, maybe this is a mod or something. They need to make a Superman game like this.
Post-crisis Superman also fought Golden Age Superman in a brutal slugfest. Golden Age Superman is said to have punches that can shatter stars like our sun, which as you may know is more massive than 300,000 of our Earths. Superman has also survived and endured multiple supernovas at point blank range. And while this might not seem as impressive as the other feats for Superman I just listed, just to put in perspective how big of a gap there is between Superman and the strongest Viltrumites, you remember how Omni-Man took that laser nuke from space? Well, Superman, without access to the sun and while being beaten by Doomsday, was able to take an explosion that was equal to 1 million nuclear blasts. In terms of speed, Superman is well over the speed of light. While fighting Earth,
that's the thing too. As fast as Viltrumites are, I don't think they don't compare to the speed Superman has.
Even the lower level calculations of this feat would put Superman.
Like, I know it's the movie with Christopher Reeves. I know it's the movie, but it's still Superman. The brother ran back time with his speed. I don't care what anybody says. I thought that was one of the coolest things as a kid, but that's speed for you. If you ever seen it, go watch it, which I'll be shocked if you didn't. But Christopher Reeve's Superman, the first one, he reversed time to save Lois. Oh, dude, that's some speed. I don't think Viltrumites have that kind. And so when you factor that with the strength of Superman and the lasers and the breath, I don't even think the Viltrumites catch up with him. They can keep up, with him. So that alone, he can just go through each one of them and I will say, if he held back, the Viltrumites have a chance. But if he was like, I'm not here to waste time, and use his speed, lasers, and breath with his strength, he can go through each one of them. That's just my opinion, but
millions of times the speed of light. He also consistently flies.
If y'all disagree, I respect it.
From the sun to Earth.
But here's the thing: they keep mentioning Darkseid. Like, let's compare who's was it Thrag? Yeah, Thrag's like the big bad dude of the Viltrumites, and Darkseid is the big bad dude of Superman's world. Darkseid, that's child's play for him. Thrag is child's play for Darkseid. We're not going to sit here and nerf Darkseid. We gotta be real how strong he is. And now, as he says, Superman has beaten him a few times actually. Now, granted, Darkseid beat him too, but the strength of Darkseid doesn't even compare to someone like Thrag, and Superman's beating him. So if Thrag has no chance, I mean, like, no chance. Just because you're brutal doesn't mean you're strong enough. Has no chance against Darkseid. What is he going to do to Superman? And if Thrag is one of the strongest Viltrumites, we can put 2 and 2 together there.
Which is also several times the speed of light. Superman can also fly to the planet Vega to Earth in a few seconds. Vega is around 25 light years away from Earth, which would also put Superman several times faster than the speed of light. And when Green Lantern Kyle Rayner calls for Superman's help in another solar system, Superman flies to that solar system in what's portrayed as less than a few hours. No matter how you look at this would put Superman several thousand times the speed of light. Superman is faster, stronger, and much more durable than any Viltrumite we've seen thus far. It is simply unfathomable that the Viltrumite Empire could ever reach the raw physical capabilities of the Man of Steel in combat. But let's get into some counter arguments for Superman in this scenario. One argument I've heard about this is, well, Superman gets his powers from the sun, but what if he fights the Viltrumite Empire in a place where there are no yellow or blue suns to feed off of? And to be 100% honest, Superman can maintain the solar energy he already has before the battle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If he said, okay, let me not waste time, his speed alone can end the battle before those effects that he's talking about ever sinks in. So that's how quick he is.
The way this power is described is that
he wouldn't waste time fighting them.
Being able to maintain the solar energy he absorbs for days and even weeks, which is how he can fight at nighttime or even in deep space where there are no yellow suns or even stars. And Superman, being as fast and powerful as he is, could end the battle in minutes or honestly even seconds.
Exactly.
Which is nowhere near the
You just won't waste time, that's all.
Potentially run out of solar energy. As I showed in the beginning of this video, Robert Kirkman says that Invincible would beat Superman in a fight, and many people have been unironically using this as proof that Invincible would beat Superman because, well, he is the author, so what he says goes. So, a few problems with this. Robert Kirkman is the creator of Invincible, not Superman or any other DC property for that matter. How would his statement be able to impede on the works of other authors? And by this same logic, any writer for Superman in the past 20 years could just come out and say, actually,
yeah, I mean, what creators usually do that. They usually go for their project.
And then at that point, it becomes a he said, she said situation. Which is why in this case, we have power skills.
Where does this game come from, bro? I want to see this. Like, let me know if y'all know about this.
Setting, and using that information, we determine who is more powerful. To be honest, in this video, I gave the Viltrumites a lot of leeway in terms of scaling, mixing in stuff from the show along with the comics, and honestly, it really didn't matter. No single Viltrumite in the series, and really any character in the standalone Invincible universe, can ever touch Superman in terms of speed and power. Superman out there, and I'm sure everyone has their own scaling. And
alright, well, shout out to him. I'll put the original video in the description below. I'm curious, hold on. Oh, after digging a little deeper, it looks like the author of Invincible actually never said Invincible wins. It was taken out of context by fans. He actually says he thinks Superman is much more... Wait. he actually says he thinks Superman is much more experienced than him at any point in the series. The idea of watching Superman obliterate the Viltrumite Empire after he finds out what they do actually gives me kind of hype. That would be cool. Thrax said 37 Viltrumites will break the Earth in half. Yeah, I heard that. I was like, really? Just in half? That's it? Wow. Batman says Superman could break the world with his pinky finger. It's not even close. I mean, really? Did he say that? Maybe it's a comic I don't know about. I didn't hear that before. But with his pinky? Viltrumites can be killed by suns, while Kryptonians can live off suns. Enough said. Seeing Zod go, you don't seem to understand. The multiverse isn't yours to conquer. It quickly wipe out the entire Viltrumite race. Would be dope. Yeah, because, I mean, Zod is what Superman is, so it would be the same outcome. Yeah, that's true. Superman's only born when you don't know him. That is so true. He's incredibly strong and always a good person, which may seem boring and sometimes is when handled badly. Yeah, it just depends on the writers. That's the thing. It just depends on who's writing them. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all later.